Hey everyone, it's Angela with Mystic Moon, bringing you guys your weekly soul connection reading. And so this is going to be for today's date, which is Monday, February 1st, going all the way until Sunday, February 7th. So this could be for any kind of a soul connection. You may see this person as a twin flame soulmate, maybe something else. At the end of the day, these labels don't matter. We are just focusing on the energies of this connection today. So just take what resonates, you guys, and get rid of what doesn't. So this beautiful orgonite that you guys see in front of you, this is the Medusa orgonite created by my friend Michelle from Wing and Bell. So I will put her information down below. We also have a really cute little Mystic Moon candle that Sherry, Chips is saying hi, that Sherry from Wing and Bell sent to me over the holiday season. So I just wanted to showcase that today. And today's bracelet is from Rising Sun Oracle. This is the Sacral Chakra bracelet. So I'll also put her information down below. All the decks I'm going to be using here today, I'll let you guys know what they are as I shuffle each deck. And as usual, they'll all be listed down below. So, just to kind of go into a little bit of where I have been for this last week, if you guys want to skip that, just go right to the reading. No worries. I'll put the timestamp down below. But yes, it's definitely been one hell of a last week. That's for sure. So last Monday, so a week from today, I was able to bring forth the weekly soul connection reading. And then the next day I was going to be doing my personal readings for clients and then, just doing regular content and things like that for YouTube as well as Instagram. And I woke up with just this horrible, dizzy headache. And it was not the same type of headache that I usually get, with my monthly migraine and things like that. I knew it was different. And the thing is, you guys, Mr. Moon had fallen ill. He wasn't really feeling well Thursday, not this Thursday, but like a week ago Thursday. And on Friday, he actually called in sick to work. And so he just was feeling off. And so he developed like a cough and it's just like a flu, just like flu type symptoms and things like that. And so I think that I must have caught some sort of tail end or something of what he had. And it just literally took me down for 3 days because I couldn't even put on my readers and I can't see anything as far as, reading things without my readers. And so every time I put my readers on, it made me really dizzy and almost gave me vertigo. So I was like, oh my gosh. So that was Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And Friday, it finally lifted. And I'm just kind of like, you know what? I just need to take the rest of the weekend off to just recuperate, because I still wasn't feeling 100%. So anyways, that's why I had my assistants post what they did, which just kind of let you guys know where I was, that, we were definitely down with some sort of, sickness, virus. And, Mr. Moon is actually still out this week. So just kind of depending on just everything, testing clear for everything that he needs to do, because you have to follow all these protocols and stuff now with everything that, he's just not able to go back to work yet. So anyways, him being here this week while I'm trying to do readings and catch up on everything. I mean, I need to catch up on clients that I was supposed to do last week, the clients I'm supposed to do this week, plus content. Yeah, it's a lot. So anyways, I'm hoping that everything goes well. My only leftover symptom is that I just still feel kind of like, like a shortness of breath kind of thing, from coughing and stuff. But other than that, I hope it's going to be okay. I'm pretty sure we're going to live. So anyways, I just wanted to say thank you to all of you who reached out and who commented on the post and wished us well. I really, really appreciate it. So anyways, if you guys hear any background noise, it might be Mr. Moon, it might be the cats, it might be just anything. So anyways, let's go ahead and get started, you guys. So the very first thing that we're going to do is we're going to focus on what is the main energy of this connection this week. So I wanted to use 3 decks here today. This right here is called the Mermaid Tarot. I also wanted to use the Mermaid Oracle by Lucy Cavendish, and I wanted to combine it with my Depths of the Sea Oracle. So let's go ahead and do just that. So let's go ahead and get a major energy, just kind of like the overall main energy of the connection this week between you and this person. Okay, we have time out, awareness, contemplation, solitude, and time alone. So Obviously, and I think I forgot to say this, usually I do channel for those that are experiencing some sort of a separation or challenge. And so this just kind of confirms that that might be the overall energy this week, that you guys are taking a time out from one another. Maybe you guys are spending some time alone. Maybe for some of you, this is something that you've decided, your person's decided, but whatever's going on here, there could be some sort of a break, okay? So let's go ahead and get some oracle here. Just kind of see maybe some of those details of what's going on with this timeout. What's going on with this timeout? Okay, we have intoxication. Cocktail. What else? We have blocked, interesting, and siren, spellbound. Okay, so I think that it is very interesting. My favorite word to say during readings is that we have spellbound and intoxication. We have blocked as well. So let's go ahead and clarify with some tarot, but kind of the gist that I'm getting already from this is that it could be one or the other, meaning that somebody became very invested, very intoxicated, very spellbound by this person. And this person may be now pulling back. It's too intense. It's too much. Some of you may even been blocked. Now this could be the other way around. This became too much for you. You were getting carried away. You were getting to a point where perhaps maybe you were only focused on this person and you were not focused on yourself. So it could be that now you're pulling yourself out. You're blocking yourself or blocking this person's energy from affecting you, and you really need to take some sort of a break from it. Okay, so that's what we're seeing here. So the overall energy this week with this connection very much is like things may have gotten too intense and people need somewhat of a break. With the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is a very abrupt energy. This happens very quickly. It's very swift. The Knight of Swords usually takes the sword and either delivers some sort of word, spoken word communication, or it's an action. You know, they just swiftly cut something off. They swiftly make a move. Now, of course, this could be you or your person. Take it as it resonates. But there's definitely some kind of quick, swift energy that has been like dealt here. It's like been very, very quick. Yeah, we have the Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords is a card of we're feeling very stuck. We're feeling very trapped. It's only in our heads, though. It really is only in our minds that we're trapped. We're really not trapped. It's a state of mind, okay? It's way of thinking. So take this, of course, as it resonates for you. But I feel like some of you have decided that you no longer want to be wrapped up in this kind of emotional situation. You no longer want to feel like you're stuck. And so you're taking matters into your own hands and you're kind of like cutting someone off. You're cutting off maybe the time or in the investment, something that you've been investing in with this person. Maybe you're not trying as hard. Maybe you're just kind of letting go and seeing what happens. Just kind of like going with the flow, not really pushing so hard for this connection. This could be your person's energy towards you because perhaps they felt like maybe you were really wanting something from them or you were really wanting communication and they just felt somewhat trapped or they felt somewhat pushed up against a wall. And so instead of facing you and dealing you, they could have cut you off, blocked you, and just basically abruptly removed themselves from the situation. So I'm kind of getting both energies. Yeah, Five of Cups. And it's definitely a sad, disappointing situation. It feels sad. Somebody is sad here. Somebody is sad because of this decision. It's kind of like, sometimes you know that you need to do certain things. You don't want to do it, but you know that it's probably the best thing. So if you guys have made a decision to cut this person off, to maybe just not focus on them so much and focus on yourselves, I think that that's a very healthy decision no matter what. And it may feel you may feel like melancholy over this. It may feel sad that you had to do this, but that might be for your own emotional well-being and to kind of save yourself from losing yourself in this person or this situation. Now, of course, it could be the other way around where your person has done this to you and now you're feeling very sad and you're feeling very regretful and just kind of looking at all the things that have gone wrong rather than focusing on what still basically remains, what still is good for you in this situation. So it's seeing the silver lining. Sometimes, again, that's a state of mind. If we choose to focus on the negatives and we choose to focus on everything, just like that went wrong, then we're just going to, that energy is going to just continue to multiply within our system. We're not going to feel great. We're going to feel sad. We're going to feel gloomy. We're going to feel down. So Spirit is giving us an opportunity to kind of block this energy from infiltrating our systems or our fields any longer. We don't have to feel this way. Just because someone makes a decision, we don't have to take this as a blow. We don't have to take this as something personal. We can really see this as very logically and practically, which I do see swords energy. We have an opportunity to see things from a rational perspective. We can see the silver lining. We can go totally emotional, get totally depressed over this, or we can see that silver lining and say, you know what, maybe this is something that just isn't meant for me, either right now or at all. Maybe I'm being saved from something here. That's a silver lining, okay? Maybe timing will be better later on. That's also a silver lining. So we just have to see that people do things sometimes because of where they're at in their own spiritual development and growth, where they're at in their maturity levels. So you could be dealing with somebody who just doesn't know how to deal with issues. They don't know how to deal with things when they come up. And so they could just be cutting you off and blocking you and pulling away. And rather than taking this personally and staying attached to this, we're being asked to just see that silver lining and say, you know what, there is still good in the world. There is still something good that can come from the situation. I'm still learning about myself. I can take a look and examine myself and my behavior and see maybe where I need improvement as a person. It's very easy to get caught up in blaming and that sort of thing. So this is, just again, take this if it resonates for you. But if someone has done something here and you're feeling this 5 of Cups energy, Spirit is giving you an opportunity to see things from a different perspective and to get out of that head space, and you can do it. Okay. And if this is someone else's energy, sorry guys, if this is somebody else's energy, I am seeing here that they may be very much stuck and set in their ways right now, and there really isn't anything that you can do about it. So rather than staying attached and spellbound and stuck on this, if you continue to do this, you're going to block yourself from your own good. You're going to block yourself from other opportunities to be happy, or you're going to block your energy field to where you're going to be stuck, and you're going to actually, in a way, just kind of become a victim rather than seeing the lesson and learning and growing from this situation. Okay. So this seems to be the main energy this week in this connection for whatever reason. Okay. Somebody could also have a drinking problem or a drug problem, or they're intoxicated with something or someone or a behavior. And this is actually really creating a block in your connection. The same message applies. Don't focus on this. Don't focus on things you can't change. We can't control other people and we can't change circumstances. All we can do is change ourselves. So if you want to waste time in this energy, Spirit's saying you can. But the more that you do this, the more you will block your own good. Or you can remove yourself, remove these blocks, remove these mental blocks. It's kind of interesting. It looks like an iceberg to me in the back. Even though it's stones, it looks like an iceberg to me. You can unblock yourself, take that sword of truth, cut through, pull yourself out of your emotional, being spellbound by your emotions, and really just rationally look at the situation and say, you know what, maybe this is for the best good of our connection. Maybe this is exactly what we need. Maybe this is exactly what has to happen right now. That's the silver lining. That's the rational explanation for this. Okay? Because we can get caught up in our emotions all day long. We can make excuses in this energy. We can excuse bad behavior in 5 of Cups energy. This is just not a good place to be. This is an opportunity for us to take a look at things, see where maybe we went wrong, where the other person went wrong, see where things just weren't right, where we were not connected, where we were not on the same wavelength as someone else. And instead of focusing on this, we choose to turn around and see the good that still is available to us. Okay, we can find our way if we choose. So that's very, really, I like that message, I like that message a lot. It's very empowering for anyone that might feel stuck right now on this person or this situation. So why don't we take a look and see what are the unresolved karmic lessons or issues that are affecting things at this present time. So this one is from Angelic Revelation 144, Why I Ghosted cards. So we're going to go ahead and get some topics with these. Okay, so What are the unresolved karmic lessons and issues that are affecting the situation? Because we obviously know that something is being affected here. Something is happening here. Okay, too angry to respond. Okay, so to me, this really coincides with this message earlier. Sometimes we are blocked, or we block people because we don't know how to deal with what's happening. We're too angry to respond. They're too angry to respond. There's too many emotions that are in the way. Sometimes people just need a break from the situation. They need a time out. So this could be something that is happening here, is that there's too much emotion, there's too much anger here to have a conversation. So maybe it's a good thing that things are kind of blocked at this time, that we're either being blocked or we're blocking someone out, or something's just not happening with this person, because maybe nothing good would come out of conversation right now. So that's why it might be a good reason to take that time out. Somebody is hiding their true self. So somebody is not ready to basically step into the light and step into their true, authentic self and reveal how they're really feeling. Somebody is hiding. So this is a problem. It would be suicide to reply right now. So we do have something about replying and responding, you guys. So if you guys are dealing with someone who there has been some sort of communication back and forth, and either you've sent something and you haven't received something back, or what you did receive back was you got blocked, or your person's just simply not responding to you, this is telling me here that there's something going on here with your person, okay? Now, this could also be you as well. Perhaps it's not a good idea for you to respond. Perhaps it's not a good idea for you to communicate with this individual. Why would this be? Because it could be that there is a lesson for you with being true and authentic to yourself. So if you're not able to be true and authentic to yourself right now, because let's just say you have low self-esteem, let's just say you have some wounds and some healing that still needs to occur. Sometimes if we prematurely have these conversations with people that have triggered us in this way, or that we have some sort of attachment trauma or even trauma bond with, then sometimes we can kind of go back and do a backslide and go downhill again and kind of get further and further into this pit with this individual. It might be a better idea to allow some time to go on to where you can empower yourself and heal and grow. And then if you have a conversation with this individual, it might actually be much better. So there's something about timing here, and something that right now is not a good idea. That's why the timeout card was the very first card that came out in this reading. It's time to take time out. It's time to contemplate. It's time to spend some time in solitude and alone. And it's time to become aware of ourselves and the part that we played in this situation, or the demise, or whatever has happened here. Because it does take two to tango. It doesn't mean that people don't do bad things, and that, we can't say ever, I didn't do anything wrong. It usually does take two. There's usually something that we have either attracted to us for a reason. So we're not completely clear in the clear in that. Your person could have done things to you whereas you were being very nice and you were being very giving, and they just all of a sudden just started with this behavior and you just didn't deserve it kind of energy. It's not to say we deserve anything, but there could be something within you where you attracted this in order to heal these broken aspects of yourself. So there's something about time. Time needs to be given. Time out from this individual, from this person, needs to be given in order for the two of you to be able to maybe perhaps meet up at a different date, or speak and have a conversation at a later date. It could be more constructive after a period of time. Okay, so let's go ahead and go into my twin flame journey shadows here. What is this hiding of the true self? What are these issues of hiding the true self? Okay, so we have insecure. So this is the thing. Why is someone hiding who they truly are? Why is somebody not able to be their authentic self? Because it does stem from insecurity. It stems from insecurity of, this person will not accept me. If I really reveal who I truly am, this person is going to love me. So that could be you or them or both, you guys. We have pitiful. Interesting. I don't want to be pitiful. I don't want to be pitiful if I reveal how I'm truly feeling. So I'm actually getting this for both, but more for the person that's watching this video. The thing is, you don't want to appear pitiful. You don't want to appear maybe more pitiful than you already have, in the sense that maybe you laid it on the line for them. Maybe you told this person how you were truly feeling and they just kind of like skimmed right over it. Made you feel really insecure for even sharing how you felt. Made you feel just pitiful, like an idiot, basically. And so now this pitiful feeling could have turned into anger now. And so that might be one of the reasons why you, if that resonates, went into this mode of I'm done. I'm kind of done. I'm done dealing with somebody who is not responding or somebody who is not really taking any interest in resolving this issue right now. But at the end of the day, I feel like if this is your person, they don't want to be, they're too insecure to put their heart on the line. And so they see perhaps revealing who they truly are as just weak and pitiful. So you're dealing with somebody who might have just a very big, large ego and doesn't know how to have conversations from the heart. Now we have disillusioned. So there is this feeling of, was I completely wrong about this person? You just feel completely disillusioned. You feel like you got the wool pulled over your eyes. You feel like everything that you thought about this person just wasn't true. It was a lie. Maybe you became disillusioned. You told yourself lies. Maybe you made up stories about this individual that weren't really true. But there's something that connected you to them. And so sometimes that's just what we do. We project our fantasies onto people. We project what we really truly want and desire onto people, because maybe there's something lacking within ourselves. So there's an opportunity for us to really look at ourselves and examine ourselves through what's happened with this individual. And that's why this is coming up in the unresolved karmic lessons portion of this reading, okay? So let's go ahead and get a card for my Mystics Midnight Oracle. See? That's interesting, because I said something about going downhill, remember? Downhill, demise, and termination, gravedigger. Somebody's digging their own grave. Now, I do feel like it could be that you feel like you've dug your own grave. Like there's certain things that you've said or done where you're just like, oh my gosh, after I shared what I was thinking or feeling, this is when things went downhill. You're blaming yourself for being your true self. You're blaming yourself for putting your heart on the line. So there's some kind of a lesson here in feeling insecure with really revealing how you truly felt, and then blaming yourself and hating yourself for taking a chance or a risk. There's a lesson here for someone. Okay? But there's also this lesson for this individual. This is going to be their downfall in this life. This is going to be their demise. They may terminate and dig their own grave and basically bury themselves because they're not willing to put their heart on the line, because they're not willing to really connect with someone heart to heart. So I do feel for the majority of you that you guys are dealing with someone who is not able to put their heart on the line. They are not able to connect with you on that deep level. And it's very frustrating for you because you feel so much for this individual, but they may not be able to meet you halfway. So in a way, this is just a figure of speech. It would be suicide to reply right now, meaning there's no point in replying. There's no point in this person replying to you. There's no point for you reaching out to them again at this point. This doesn't mean it's over forever, but right now there is some kind of a blocked energy with the iceberg that just came up earlier, that it's not a good idea to try to take an ice pick and pick at that iceberg. It's too big. Something is too big right now to be resolved. So the only thing that can resolve this situation is time and working on the self. And if you find that after you work on yourself and you really come to terms with maybe some of the wounds or some of the things that attracted you to this person initially, you may decide to pull the plug in the end and terminate this connection with this person. And this person could have just been a very good lesson for you for your own healing, you guys. So that's why it's never a good idea to be too rigid with labels. This person is this person is that. Because when we apply labels to people, then sometimes it can be very difficult to let them go if that's really what the healthiest thing is to do. Okay? So now we're going to go into my Dark Night of the Soul Tarot. Okay, so look at that. You can't make this stuff up. Too angry to respond. That Siren of Rage, which is the Queen of Wands in my deck here, she's pissed. Too angry to respond. So this person could have gotten you to a point where you allowed them to trigger this angry response in you because you feel so scorned, because you feel so disillusioned. You could have felt like this person lied to you. This person really presented themselves to be a certain way, and it turns out they were not. That's one of the most maddening feelings in the world. I personally been there myself. It is very difficult, very, very difficult. Perhaps the way you reacted, perhaps the words that you said. Now you're feeling angry at yourself, perhaps because now you feel like that created the demise. And I'm here to tell you guys, that's not what created the demise. So if you're blaming yourself, get out of that headspace right now. Get out of that headspace right now. It's not saying it's not your fault. It's no one's fault. This would have happened no matter how you responded, you guys. So don't waste time blaming yourself for reacting to what this person brought up within you. There's an opportunity for you to look at that behavior and go, you know what? I could have responded differently. I could have handled the situation or myself differently. Or this could even be self-rage. Now we're angry at ourselves. That's not going to help you either. So this is very interesting, the way that this is coming up in the karmic lessons that still need to be cleared and healed here for both people. But don't allow this person to blame you for the demise, okay? And it's not like you're blaming them for the demise. The demise was meant to be. The downfall of this connection was meant to be from the very beginning, because it was meant to both teach you something. But I'm really focused more on the viewer, not really your person, because these soul connection readings that I do are for the personal soul development and growth of my viewers. What can you learn from this? How can you empower yourself? How can you heal? Okay? Don't allow this person to blame you. There's something going on with them. Everybody has something going on with them. And there could be certain things that you had going on with you too that got you into the situation in the first place. But don't waste time crying over that spilt milk, 5 of Cups. Don't waste time blaming yourself, hating yourself now, raging on yourself now. I'm like the Queen of Rage. When I created this card, I should have put my face on that freaking card. Okay? You know, I'm the Queen of Wands. Sagittarius, double Sag here, full of fire, full of wrath and anger. I mean, it's always been one of my, I'd say, downfalls in this life, because I can get myself into a lot of trouble, and people can mistake my rage for, I'm just passionate. I love and hate very passionately. And sometimes some of those things are interchangeable, you know, or intermixed, if that's a word. So yeah. That right there, don't blame yourself, okay? But at the same time, recognize your behavior and how it may have played a part in this situation. But don't waste time on blame. Don't blame them. Don't blame yourself. Just see it for how, remember, Knight of Swords. See it very objectively, you guys. Rational. Be rational. Oh, yeah. Look at this. I felt this from the very beginning. This connection was not meant to last. Now, it doesn't mean it's not meant to move forward past this point. It was meant to die, because there needs to be some sort of transformation that takes place here. Okay? The kiss of death. Something created the kiss of death in this connection. It's almost like what I'm also getting for some of you guys is that as soon as you connected physically with this person, it was just like, oh my God, that was it. Downhill you went into a spiral of fantasy, a spiral of, oh my God, this is the most insane, most powerful connection I've ever felt in my entire life. And maybe it is, and maybe it always will be. But regardless, it was the power of these feelings that came up within you that triggered this trauma, or triggered this, let's just say, wound within you, so you could examine it and heal it. That's the point. This person was perfect for this lesson for you. So in a way, you can say thank you silently to this person instead of maybe silently plotting their death. Which I've done before. But what is death? Death is transformation, you guys. Yeah, look at that. We can torment ourselves. This is a Three of Swords, you guys. We can torment ourselves all day long over what's happened here. We can. We can carry this wound for a very, very, very long time. And I've carried wounds with certain people for a very ridiculously, embarrassingly long time. And now those wounds have finally been, smoothed over. Definitely smoothed over. But the thing is, it's like, I can't believe how long it took for certain wounds to actually start to repair and heal. It's unbelievable. And I wasted a lot of time in this energy here, in being disillusioned. I can't believe this. This person said this and that. How could this be? How could someone say this, but then do something different? People do it all the time. People do it all the time. People say things in one moment because they're feeling a certain way in that moment, and then they wake up the next morning and then suddenly they just feel different. It happens all the time. I've done that before too, where I'm like, oh, this is a really great idea. I want to do this. And then I wake up maybe a week later and I'm like, I just don't know if I want to do that. We're human beings, you guys. We're constantly evolving and changing every single day. We're not meant to always feel the same every single moment of every single day. But it is amazing that when somebody decides to change the story or the picture or whatever's going on here, it's like the worst thing in the world. We can't understand how they could possibly do it. But it does happen, and it's more common than we realize. But the thing is, whatever has happened here has created a wound. We have a hole in the soul. There is some sort of hole in the soul that needs to be healed here. And it is through this person, and it is through their issues and your issues, that it's the perfect recipe in a way for disaster in order to crumble so we can rebuild once again. So I feel like this person is a part of your dark night of the soul, and you may be a part of their dark night of the soul too. But all I know is that this person, the way that they're coming through in this reading today, is that they are not willing at this time to open themselves up to have that conversation with you. So it could be from this person icing you out, blocking you, whatever is happening here, putting you on mute, not speaking to you, that you are going to be forced in a way to go deeply within, face your fears, face your wounds, and heal. Just the other night, sorry, my voice is going again. Just the other night, I think I was watching, because Mr. Moon and I, we've been hanging out all week, just like vegging on television, because that's like all we could really do, because we couldn't leave the house or anything like that. So we started watching, I think, Love Island, UK. And it was like 36 episodes. So it's like living and breathing this freaking TV show all day, all night. You're going to dream about it, right? But it's interesting because when I had a dream, and the dream was an old wound. Whoo! That's why I said this wound, I've smoothed it over. It's kind of like we can never really truly get rid of something. All we can do is transmute that energy. And what that means is that we are taking that energy and we're turning it into something else. So let's just say the wound is there. It did hurt. Yes. But I'm choosing not to focus on that pain. I'm choosing to focus on the lesson and how it's blessed me instead. That's transmutation, in my opinion. So that's what we're doing here. We're not just going to wake up and be without this wound. We may feel relief from this wound, but it's not just going to magically like that go away. It's going to take time, you guys. So anyways, this wound that's been smoothed over for me, whatever was going on in that show, which was some messed up shit between these people, it brought up an old wound that was connected to this. And I had a dream, and in this dream, these people were in this dream, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like I felt that same insecurity and that same feeling of just being just lower than shit, pitiful, and just feeling like I can't even believe this. It just took me back to that time. It was just as clear as day. And when I woke up, I was like, whoa, that's crazy. That's still somewhere in me somewhere. Okay. But when I woke up, I didn't become sad. I didn't focus on it. It was just like, I just acknowledged it. It's still somewhere in my subconscious. It's still somewhere in my energy field, kind of floating around. What I was watching, the scenario that was taking place on this TV show, it triggered it and it brought it out. But the thing is, instead of going to that rageful place of hating this individual and thinking about all the things that they told me, and all the things that made me feel insecure and like a pitiful piece of shit, I no longer had the desire to go down that road. So I just acknowledged it and then I went on with my day. So it's a beautiful thing. Time does heal all wounds, you guys. And really working on focusing on what is and what is in front of you, and the people and the situations that are in front of you, rather than mourning for people that are no longer in your life. That right there, that is an exercise to continue to focus on that. And the more that we focus, we multiply. So I would rather focus on things that are great and multiply more of that instead of focus on all this crap. And then it multiplies. And then I wake up every day and I just feel like crap, just mentally and spiritually and emotionally. So anyways, I'm hoping that me sharing that little story helps some of you identify with some of that information. But yes, these are the karmic cycles right now. These are things that we are getting through. It really is mostly all about you and your healing, but your person, they're stuck somewhere in this cycle and they may not want to heal it at this present time. So you have no choice but to do the healing yourself. Okay. Very, very interesting. So now let's go ahead and see, how is your person thinking and feeling and thinking about you at this time? Okay. So we're going to go into the Moody Moon Messages Divine Feminine Edition from Sister Moon Tarot. Okay, so when it comes to this person, what are they thinking in their mental space when it comes to you in this connection right now? Okay, so they're stuck in their head, daydreaming. All right, so let's go into my Twin Flame Journey Messages number 2. Okay, I see a little part of you in everyone that I meet. So this is kind of cool because this tells me here that even though you guys may be in a separation, no contact, or they're even blocking you at this time, if that's the case, or maybe vice versa, they still continue to see aspects of you and are reminded of you in their headspace. And it does get them stuck up in their headspace when they see. So if they see something that reminds them of you, or they meet someone and there's something about them that reminds them of you, they do get to this space where they're stuck in their head about it. That's kind of interesting. So now we're going to go into my Arrows of Love Oracle. This deck is on special currently for US customers only. Sorry guys, I just don't have the ability to make changes on my international site. It's not my site, it's the company. So I'm not able to have, control of that. But the Arrows of Love Oracle is $10 reduced. So it's $40 instead of $50 for the month of February or until supplies last. Okay, we have innocence. Okay, so what I'm getting from this, you guys, is that your person is reminded of basically how innocent you really were in the situation. Now, this doesn't absolve you from any wrongdoing, and it doesn't mean you were an innocent little angel with everything that happened. But deep down in their soul and in their mental space and how they see you is that they know that you really weren't the cause of this. They are taking in some sort of way some responsibility for the demise of your connection. Okay, they're reminded of your good with that love and lace innocence. This right here is called the Bride's Tarot. 7 of Coins. Yeah, the 7 of Coins to me is when we stop and we kind of examine things. We pull back and we take a look. So 7 of Coins, 7 of Pentacles is definitely a card of kind of like pause. We're taking a break. We're taking a break and we're examining what we have in front of us, what we've built up so far. So I do see that this person does think about you. They are in their headspace about you. It may not be every moment of every day, but they definitely, when they do think about you and they do see something that reminds them of you, they think about perhaps your innocence. They think about your gentleness, or they think about how it's not that you didn't do anything wrong, but how they may have done you wrong is what I'm seeing with this. They're examining it. That's 7 of coins to me. They're not quite sure though. This patience and taking a time out and putting things on hold is just definitely where they're at this particular time. They might be waiting to see something, figure something out, get something clear in their head. So until they do that, that's why it's not a good idea to push this person, because I don't see that they're in any kind of energy to want to make contact or to push forward for some sort of solution right now. Okay, so what's going on in their emotions? Okay, this is interesting to me. We've had now 3 cards. Scorned, remember, Siren of Rage, scorned. We had the too angry to respond, and also it would be suicide to respond right now. Now we have pissed. This anger is consuming me. Your person could definitely be upset with you about something, okay? But this could also be the other way around. They may know that you are too angry at this particular time. They know in their heart that they have made you angry. They know in their heart that they have done something perhaps that has hurt you to the point to where you are just pissed. They know it. See, it all comes down to timing. They're not necessarily looking to make a move right now. They're not perhaps wanting to resolve this at this time. So to me, it just kind of clarifies what we already have seen so far in this reading. Yeah, love lyrics, interesting. To me, that's like love lyrics is like the lyrics of their heart. What's their heart saying? Their heart knows that you're upset, or their heart knows that it's not the right time to resolve this. Okay. They're also perhaps not only seeing things that remind them of you, they're hearing things that make them think of you. Yeah, the star. Star is healing. The star is definitely spiritual guidance. This is about coming into alignment with the self. Definitely more of like healing. And also I do see the star as divine timing as well. I see also the temperance as divine timing too. Both of those cards are very similar to me. And they both have, an angel with 2 cups, basically. So to me, this is about, it all comes down to timing. It all comes down when it feels right. It all comes down to when certain anger or certain temperatures, lower again. So the star to me and 7 of Pentacles, these are not action-oriented cards to me. This is very much about waiting for a better time. And they may need to cool down, or they may know that you need to cool down. So this is about that break that came up at the very beginning of the reading. Time out. Yeah. Time out. All right. So it could also be if you are posting lyrics. If your person has the ability to see you on social media or see these posts, they know how you feel through these songs. I'm getting that as well. Okay, you're communicating to them through lyrics. Whenever they hear a certain song, whether you're posting it or not, if they hear a certain song, the lyrics in these songs are making them realize how you may feel towards them. And so this is causing them to be in their head and be stuck in their head and to think about you. Okay. So now let's go ahead and go into the current lessons that connect you this week. So what are you guys both learning? Now, of course, the karmic lessons that we already went into are very similar here, but let's take a look and see what kind of lessons are occurring for our growth and ascension. So we're going to go into the Spirits of Darkness and Light Divination deck that I created and get some spirits. How are you guys connecting in your spiritual ascension? How are you guys both being affected? Okay, so we have Spirit of Communication. Interesting. So there's a lot of message here about no communication. But now we have love letter, email, text, and phone call. There could be some kind of a push that you guys are feeling to communicate. Now, what's interesting is that there's a lot of cards that came up as this is not the right time to communicate. Maybe you guys are both going to be struggling with this week is what I'm getting here. Or maybe you guys are both doing this healing and taking this time out so that way you guys can have a conversation that will be better later on. That's actually what I'm getting more than anything. Yeah, see, because right now somebody is too defensive. Somebody is too defensive, or they're too they're on the, they're very guarded. And so whatever conversation is going to take place right now, it's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to be the best outcome. Spirit of the Ring, contract, promise, and commitment. So to me, this is about the commitment that you made to yourself that you would heal these things during this downtime with this person. So you and this person have a soul contract, okay? And through the soul contract, you guys may have agreed that you would trigger each other to do this healing that you needed to do. And rather than to become defensive and to blame, this is about you going within and healing. And when we do this healing, when we properly heal, and we actually come to a place of unconditional love, which doesn't mean it's okay that you're treating me like shit and that you're fucking me over and that you're doing all these things. That's not unconditional love. It's about getting to a place where you see everybody as innocent and you see that people are doing the best that they can do. And you can be very discerning, of course, when dealing with them to where you don't have to open yourself up to experience more pain with this individual, but that you see them from a higher perspective. You see them from your higher self. You see that maybe they're struggling. You see yourself as maybe struggling. You see each other's souls and you realize that you guys are basically acting out of your wounds. You're acting out of your, human needs and your human ego. And when we're able to break things down and see people from that perspective, we don't take things so personally. Okay. But we also do need to guard ourselves, because if somebody is not in a good place, technically they can hurt you over and over again if you allow them to be in your space. So unconditional love and these contracts don't mean that you have to let somebody in your life to continuously screw you over. That's not what it means. And sometimes people get very confused with certain labels because they feel that they have to put up with people's crap, and it's not true. It's not true. And it may be a part of your lesson to not put up with this person's crap, to empower yourself. And maybe perhaps once you do that, there could be something that shifts in this contract, and to where communication and the way that this person responds to you may be different later on. You see? So there's something going on right now with these current lessons that are happening this week that are connecting the two of you. So now we're going to go into what is this one called? Let me just double check on this. This one is called the Sacred Spirit Reading Cards. Sacred Divinity. There are two paths ahead. I really like that it says that there are two paths ahead, you guys, because this tells us here that we're never stuck. Again, with these contracts or labels, okay, people will get into that one-track mind. This is the person that I have to be with. This is the person that was chosen for me for this lesson, and so I have to tough it out. Nonsense. This is your life. This is you came here with free will. Okay. So there's always a choice. That's why there's two paths ahead of you. You can go this way or you can go this way. The choice is ultimately yours. You're going to learn something very valuable regardless of what you decide to do. And your experiences are either going to be more difficult, or you're going to empower yourself and enrich your experiences in this life. So remember, in the very beginning of the reading, this is not about blocking yourself from your own good. This is about unblocking yourself from your good. At this point, your one-track mind, if you're suffering from that, or focusing on everything that this person did to you and being in that very melancholy state, this is not progressing you. This is actually now taking you off of your sacred divine path. So Spirit is telling you that you have a right to be in this life and choose what you want, despite these contracts, despite commitments that you may have made with other souls. You can choose at any time to pull away from this contract and take what you have learned so far and move forward in a new direction. There's always free will, and we have open intuition, seek clarification. Okay, So this is about going within and trusting yourself. I love it. Going within and trusting yourself despite what you're hearing, despite what you're being told, despite what you're reading, whatever. Doesn't matter. Go within and consult your intuition, okay? Open yourself up to open your third eye, open your crown chakra, and communicate with spirit. So this would be perhaps being more in like a meditative state. Going within, being very quiet, get very grounded, being one, spending some time alone in solitude, like the very first card suggested. So where you guys are currently at right now and how you guys are connected is that you guys both have choices and you guys are both trying to consult your higher selves on what the right thing is to do here. Okay? And this, of course, could lead to some sort of communication later on that may be less guarded. So this right here is the Syrian Starseed Tarot. What else do we need to know? Seven of Cups. We did get the Seven of Pentacles. We have some sevens coming up here, you guys. And sevens to me are very spiritual numbers, spiritual lessons, but they're also challenging. So there's definitely some sort of choices. That's what Seven of Cups is. It's all these choices. Look at all these choices that we have. We can continue to get stuck on certain, because Seven of Cups to me is also a fantasy card. We can get stuck on fantasies. We can get stuck on stories that we're telling ourselves. It doesn't mean that these stories or these fantasies can't be true, but what good is it going to do for us if our head's in the clouds and we're no longer participating in reality? It's not really going to help us. So we do have a choice to continue to experience new things along the way. We can get stuck in this fantasy land, in this castle, waiting for our prince to come back, waiting for our queen or our princess to come back and save us. We can stay in that. If that's a choice that you have, you can do that. Or you can say, you know what? There's more to life than just this. I'm going to keep moving forward and see what else is going on in the world. So that's why we've got there are two paths ahead of you. We can stay stuck on a certain idea, or we can move forward and experience new things. The choice is always ours. We have the Seven of Flames, another number 7. So 777 is coming up in this reading. If you guys are seeing sevens or any combination of sevens in the form of angel numbers on clocks, I mean, we're not really going to see 777 on a clock because there's no such thing as 777. But any kind of combination that leads up to those numbers, or you're seeing that somewhere else, this right here is an indication that there's a very valuable spiritual lesson in all of this. You know, you may have had to go through hard times in order to learn certain lessons. But the Seven of Flames is Seven of Wands, and Seven of Wands is a card of really, fighting. It's really staying strong. And it's also about defending yourself as well. So as strong as we need to be, we also do need to be discerning, and we do need to protect ourselves as well, because there could be something that is just in a way kind of trying to burn us. So we do need to be aware of that, you guys. We do need to be aware of perhaps stories that we're telling ourselves about people. Okay, and I'm just going to use this as an example here. We may tell ourselves, we may make excuses. Let's just say this person, right, has totally just you guys had a great connection. So this is the story. You guys had a great connection. And all of a sudden, however long, they just decided that they wanted to go in another direction, or they started pulling away emotionally, or they were just kind of wishy-washy. I don't know what I want. I'm not sure if I want a commitment. Maybe they had some other things going on. They wanted to keep their options open, right? And this is something that probably should have been a red flag to you. Kind of like, well, this person isn't ready. This person doesn't know what they want. This person may not want commitment. And you could have fought and pushed and pushed and pushed, right? Maybe even tried to manipulate this person and push them back up against a wall, which could be one of the reasons, if this is your story, that this person wanted to break free from that type of manipulation and control and ran for the hills. That's only for some of you, okay? So there's a lesson in that. The lesson would be that we can't push people. We can't push our own agendas. I mean, we can, but when we do that, we do risk other people being turned off and repelled by that behavior. Okay? So we may have to learn something about self-control. We may have to learn that we can't control other people. Now, we may have also created a fantasy about this person. We may have told ourselves that this person is just so amazing deep down inside. And yes, and to some extent, their soul is just like ours. We're all the same. This person, you might see and resonate with the beauty of who they truly deeply are, deep down. But who they are choosing to be, the version of who they are choosing to be in this life, and the work that they need to do and all the karma that they need to clear, they may have no intention of doing that. They may just want to be a person that just takes and uses and is just here in order to see what they can get out of this life and get out of everyone. There are people here like that. We call them narcissists. We call them all types of things. Some of you are dealing with this type of person. And it doesn't mean that they will never change. It just means that it's not going to do you any good to continue to fight for this person and continue to tell yourself this story and stay invested in the storyline. This storyline is not going to change the facts of what this person needs to do and what they need to clear and heal, and the things that they need to start doing perhaps to be a better person or a better version of themselves. You can't do that for them, no matter how hard you try. So this to me is you need to save yourself. You need to open yourself up to perhaps other opportunities for growth. This person is not your only road to ascension. They may be a part of your ascension, but they are not your entire ascension. There could be a very challenging lesson connected to them, a lot of healing that is connected to them. But it might be time for you to thank this person, inside, thank this person, and carry on. Now, again, we're not saying you're forgetting all about them. They're forgetting all about you. This will never be. I don't do any kind of like definites, like this is it. Because anything is possible. But right now, if you feel like you're fighting for something and someone else is not meeting you halfway, it might be time to give up the fight. And it might be time for you to carry on instead of continuing to invest in this story with this individual. Because this person does not want to let you in for whatever reason. And we did discover in the very beginning of the reading that it has a lot to do with them not being able to open up and meet you heart to heart and be authentic with you. They're just not able to do that right now. Okay? So you have an opportunity to choose a different path right now and to open yourself up perhaps to other forms of learning and ascension here instead of staying stuck and hung up on this person forever. Because that is a choice. You can do that if you choose to. You absolutely can. No one's saying that you have to do anything. So those are the current lessons that are connecting you and your person this week. It seems that in this contract, this very guarded contract right now, that communication is a problem, or communicating from the heart is a problem. And so rather than continuing to push, or maybe invest more in a story that you're telling themselves or yourself or a version of them that may not be accurate right now, try not to waste time in that and perhaps maybe choose something different or focus on something different, which you should be doing anyways. We shouldn't be focusing on this person. We shouldn't be focusing and putting all of our eggs into this person's basket. Why would we be doing that? We're sacred beings. We should be having the time of our lives instead of crying over spilt milk with this jackass of a person. Just saying. Okay. All right. So now let's go signs from spirit on this connection to pay attention to. Signs from spirit that we need to pay attention to. So this is my twin flame angel numbers. Let's see what signs are coming through from spirit that we need to pay attention to. 838. Your angels are providing important information to you and your person on the astral plane. So this astral plane could be you're connecting to it through meditation or through your dreams. 838. That's also a form of 1111 to me. So that right there is telling me that your spirit guides and your team are sending messages to you and your person on the astral plane. So how do we do that? We either go within, do that meditation, that lucid dreaming state maybe even like a hypnosis, or this is when we go to bed at night. Pay attention to what you're dreaming about. When you wake up, write about it. And you may see a theme developing, and there may be some kind of message in there for you that's very important for your healing. Okay? But this is also happening to your person as well. You might be dreaming about each other. So you're dreaming about them, they're dreaming about you. So that's also something that's happening, and it's Spirit's way of helping the two of you to heal when it comes to one another. See? Step into your senses. So there's something about communicating with each other on a different level. So this is not actual physical communication. This is communicating like spirit. Your spirits are communicating. Your higher selves are communicating at this point. The higher versions of yourselves are communicating, because the lower versions, which are in this 3D reality, are not able to communicate right now for good reason. So if you want to communicate with your person, you can continue to communicate with them on that level. There's nothing wrong with that, because when you're communicating with this person on this level, I mean, unless you're getting carried away and you're not able to focus on anything else, this could be very healing for you. And it could be very healing for them, especially if they're not ready to communicate. So now we have 1133. So we have 838, 945, and 1133. Commit, I love this. Commit to being the best version of yourself and enjoy the positive impact that it has on your connection. So Spirit is telling you, commit to being the best version of you, despite what's happening with this person. It may actually have a very positive impact on this connection later on. So why not do that? Do it for yourself, but it may also benefit this connection later on. So this particular color here, that is the sacral chakra, and we also have the solar plexus chakra. So those chakras are coming up for a reason. You may be connected on those chakras. I see the solar plexus chakra as having a lot of confidence, seeing your value, knowing what you want, and going after it in this life. So you have an opportunity to grow from this relationship, which is the sacral chakra. Sacral chakra is our intimate relationships, right? So through this connection that you made with this individual, this actually helps you to be a better version of yourself. But they're not the only person or the only individual that's going to help you with being the better version of yourself. You're also perhaps meant to meet other people along the way. And they don't have to be romantic, just so you know. This card or deck is called the Soul Activation Oracle deck from Rising Sun Oracle, same gal who makes these bracelets. Love it. Heart chakra. It says believe. Green calcite. Okay, so this is telling you here to believe in the signs that you are receiving. If you feel something in your heart space, it's just it feels peaceful. Okay, there's a difference when we are getting some sort of a thought. We're having a thought, right? You know the difference between, am I having this thought because I'm paranoid? Am I having this thought because I'm anxious? Am I having this thought because I'm unsettled, because I'm bored, this and that? Am I creating something? Or do I really, really feel it? You know the difference, you guys. Your heart doesn't lie. That's kind of like your true self. It doesn't lie. Your ego can lie to you all day long. And it's just about practicing how you feel when you're connected to certain emotions. Are you connected when you're connected to a certain feeling or emotion? What's going on with you? Where's your headspace? What's going on in your life? If your life is in chaos and you're feeling very low and you're all of a sudden you believe that someone's coming into your life to save you from all of your darkness, that usually is false, because we are looking for someone else to relieve us or save us from our sorrow. And it's only human to want to do that, but that is coming from the ego. But if something were to just, let's just say, you just feel peaceful and calm, a calm just rushes over you, and you just feel, just that incredible amount of peace in your heart, and there's no reason for it. You just feel that's something that you can trust. Okay, that's just an example. Okay, but that's just the difference. You know the difference between what you want versus what really is coming to you with zero expectation, right? That's beautiful. So Spirit's saying, trust your heart. Trust your heart always. If it feels peaceful and if it feels like you're not attached to it and you don't feel anxious about it, then believe that to be true. Okay. That's beautiful. So let's go ahead and go into my Signs from Spirit Love Oracle. Okay, so we had a card that fell out. So let me get it. And it's called Safe Passage. Starfish. If I can pick it up. Love it. Starfish. So I see this card here, Safe Passage, as in we have passed through something safely, right? We're getting through something. We may have believed at one time that we would never heal, but it's not true. You will heal. Okay, you will heal. So the starfish is here to remind you from spirit that you will pass through this safely. You will come out the other side a better version of yourself, a healthier version of yourself, with your heart still intact, with you being able to still open your heart up. Perhaps this person did not destroy your heart. This right here is the Angel Wisdom Tarot by Radley Valentine. What else are some signs from spirit to pay attention to, or advice? Love it. Strength, personal power, and assertiveness portrayed with kindness, okay? Compassion that brings about forgiveness, realizing that you're stronger than you knew. Look, so this angel and this beast, it's usually like a feminine and a masculine in the strength card to me. And she's taming the beast. She's taming the beast within herself, though. She's finding strength through kindness. Some of us believe the more angry we are, I'm speaking about myself, the more angry we are, the more passionate we are, the more rageful that we are, the more like closed down. I'm never going to let anybody in. I'm never going to let anybody screw me over again. We see that as strength, but it's false. That's very much our ego trying to run the show, guarding us from just taking any risks moving forward, to putting every single person in the same category. I do have a tendency to do that still. That's still something that I'm healing from. But it's like an uncomfortable feeling. Oh, nope, gonna put that in, that's compartmentalized. Done. Not even gonna open up that door. Not even gonna give it a chance. So there's something about healing through forgiveness and healing through compassion and being more gentle. So this gentle lion, he's just sitting there, right? And so if things in the jungle come up, they're going to see, wow, that lion's probably going to kick my ass, and I probably don't want to mess with him. But see, he doesn't really need to roar. He just is. He's in his personal power. He's worked on himself. You know what I mean? Like you've worked on yourself. People just know with the new confidence that you're emanating from you. They just know that you are grounded. They know that you're strong. They're not going to try to mess with you. So this is telling you here, you don't have to bark, you don't have to roar, you don't have to get in anybody's face, you don't have to make it known that you're doing so well. Sometimes I think it's a natural response to want to reach out to somebody that's really hurt you and say, I'm better now. I just want you to know that we're cool. Everything's cool. That, like I'm over you. The fact that we feel the need to want to do that should speak volumes. That right there is the ego still running the show, because you want to prove to this person that they don't have that power over you anymore, or that they that you don't care for them anymore, or that you're fine. They didn't destroy you. But that's ego. Silence is golden, you guys. Just be. Just be. There's no need to have to run out and prove to anyone anything. Just be in your own personal power, okay? I love it. Justice. This to me is just saying the universe always takes care of things. Whether you see it or not, whether it's in the way that you would like to see it happen, the universe is always balancing those scales, karma and justice, okay? But this is also telling you, just like the Knight of Swords at the very beginning of the reading, be impartial. Be more rational with your thinking. Try not to make decisions about this person or the situation when you're invested in a certain story about them, or when you're really emotional, really try to be more in that rational mindset when it comes to seeing the situation for how it is. Okay? Being lost in a story or, for some fantasy that you've projected about this individual doesn't make it so. It just makes it to where you might have more of a difficult time letting this person just be because of the story that you've told themselves. I've told myself stories about people my entire freaking life, and I'm still probably going to do it moving forward because it's just something that we naturally do. And I may stop myself from going all in this story, with some of the things that I've learned in the past, but it doesn't mean I'm going to be perfect now and never do it again. It's very easy to project, especially if you get excited about a new friendship or you get excited about a new lover or you just get excited about a new job. It's very easy to just interject what you want to happen and how you see it going. We all do it, right? But it's when we can't pull ourselves back and allow other people to just be who they are and allow things to just kind of naturally unfold instead of trying to control the whole damn thing. That right there is where we get stuck. So moving forward, what I'm getting here is that this overall has been a very, very valuable lesson. And when you see yourself going down this road again with people or situations, stop yourself and be a little bit more impartial and objective. Okay? And also see where you may have gone wrong before. Were you not your authentic self? Did you say yes when you meant no? Did you say you were okay with something when you weren't? I've done that many times. Sure. Bullshit. And then all of a sudden the resentment builds. And all of a sudden I'm feeling myself wanting to back out of a situation or maybe even blame the other person and villainize them because I said yes to something that I didn't want. Okay? That's just an example. It says, try to see all sides of a situation. You will win if your position is one of integrity. So this just means that when you act with integrity, when you know without a shadow of a doubt that you really were coming from a good place, no one can really steal your thunder. There really isn't any injustice at that point. You did everything that you could have done. You were truthful. You were honest. Sometimes people are just fucked up. And sometimes people just want to create issues and problems where there is none. Okay? This is like a campaign of people against you. And one person has decided that you are a bad person, or one person has decided because whatever issue they had with you or whatever has been triggered within them because of their own crap, that you're a piece of shit. And that everyone must hate you now. Everyone must see you in this light. Okay? That right there is very manipulative. And that is a campaign. And they gather more people and more people on this hate train or this way of thinking to villainize someone. And we see this in all types of different ways. I'm not even going to go into how many ways this happens, especially right now in this day and age. But everybody wants to jump on a bandwagon of hate, it seems. Villainizing this, villainizing that, all these things. It says, be impartial and objective. Think for yourself. Think for yourself. Stand up for what you believe in. Okay? And you don't have to be in people's faces either. Remember, being gentle and just kind of like being in your position of power and feeling confident that, you know what? This is where I stand. I've let it be known that this is how I feel. And if another person can't respect it, then they can't respect it. It's okay. We can agree to disagree, or we can go our own separate ways. So I feel like the reason that this is coming up at the very end is because this is Spirit's way of communicating with us through perhaps these things, these signs, through karma, through lessons, through things that occur that might feel like an injustice. They're actually, in a way, helping us to become stronger, to balance out ourselves, to see things differently than we saw before. You see? And also, there's been times when I've been like, I know I didn't do anything wrong. And so you're just pissed. and you villainize the other person. I know I didn't do anything wrong. I love that. I love it when other people do it too. I did nothing wrong. Okay, got it. First of all, it always takes two. And I'm not saying that there aren't instances where something has happened to us and we really didn't do, shit wrong. But usually you can always go down, deep down within yourself, and you can always look at that and go, you know what? Actually, I wasn't being honest. I actually wasn't being honest. I prize myself on being a very honest, upfront person, but actually I wasn't being honest, because when this person asked me if something was wrong or I had an opportunity to speak my truth, I didn't. So that did cause the issue. So it wasn't like it's just, I didn't do anything wrong. Believe me, both people probably did something. But this is giving us an opportunity, you guys, to no longer be a victim. As long as we're in our integrity, you can feel really good about the decisions that you make. And you can feel really good about the decisions that other people make too. That might not be what you want, but at least you know that you gave it your best shot and you know that you are authentic in the situation. You will have less spiritual debris. You will have less spiritual baggage when you are just within your integrity and you do what's right for you. Some people will get involved in third-party situations, but I just felt so connected to this person. That's great. I was told that this person's my twin flame, so it's okay that I'm going behind my husband's back, or it's okay that I'm going behind my wife's back, or whatever. It's okay because they're my twin flame. I don't care what the label is. If you're not acting with an integrity, it's going to get you. It's going to get you one way or another, okay? Something is going to happen to help you to see where things are out of balance, okay? And the strength card can sometimes be our animalistic nature. It's very easy, very, very easy to fall into our animalistic nature. I want this. I just feel this. I need this, right? I'll die without it. You won't. But it might feel that way. So sometimes we make decisions based on these animalistic instincts. I need, I want, I desire, I have to have it. I have to curb this appetite, right? So what ends up happening is we do things that probably aren't with our better judgment, and then we pay for it later, because then things become out of balance, out of whack, things happen, and all of a sudden it's just like, whoa, now I see where things could have been different. Look at that, you guys, the Lovers. So we got 3 major arcanas here out of 78 cards, and that's just major to me, because this just tells me here that Spirit is really here to help you to balance out your own inner stuff through this connection, okay? And the Justice, of course, to me can be soul contracts that we've made with other people, partnerships that we decided to come into so that way we could heal. The Lovers, it says, embrace true love and deep, intimate friendships. Make choices from the heart, vibrant health or recovery from illnesses. So remember, the card that came up, which was the heart chakra card, believe. Do not allow whatever injustices happened or wherever things went wrong, whatever mistakes you may have made, what other mistakes other people have made. Don't allow this to take away from you still believing in love, okay? Don't allow this to ruin you forever when it comes to trusting other people, when it comes to opening yourself up to other situations, if that's the choice that you guys want to make. It's very easy to get hung up on this injustice. It's very easy to get hung up on, this person didn't love me. This person doesn't want me. I feel like an idiot. I was so stupid. I was so disillusioned, all these things. We can do that, of course, but that's just going to keep us stuck. So instead, why not commit to being a better version of yourself for next time? Whether it's the next time with this person down the line or it's with something else. improve from this situation. And like I always say, make the pain in this situation matter. Don't waste this opportunity crying over this individual if you are. Okay. So now we're going to go into the last portion of this reading, which is a view of possible upcoming energies. So we're going to go into my charm cards here and just see what some things are possibly on the horizon. Possible energies that could come into play with this individual in the future. I love this. Milestone. So this tells me here that you guys are going to grow. You're going to reach a milestone with not only yourself, but perhaps this connection too. So over a period of time, I'm getting here that you guys may be able to come to some sort of conclusion, perhaps have that communication, perhaps have another go at this. But again, it's like down the line. Divine offering. I love this. Feather. We're being offered something from the divine. This is divine. Remember, the divinity. I'm going to read this here. Sacred divinity. You have a divine offer, an offer from the divine. There are two paths ahead. This is not the only path for you. You may have other things that you have to learn. Your person might have other things that they have to learn and they may have to learn these things by going on a separate path from you at this present time. That's why it's always best to let people go. If they want to go, let them go. Don't continue to hang on to someone's leg as they're trying to walk out the door. All that's going to do is it's just going to ensure that you feel like shit. And we have spring. Spring is ahead. Now, of course, depending on where you're at in the world, this doesn't matter. This just tells me here, this is after a long winter. The next season, whatever season it is for you, is going to be an opportunity to grow. Okay? We're growing out of this. We're phasing out of this. We're actually choosing something new. So both of you guys are going to grow, but it will be through your choice to keep living your life and healing and ascending and choosing to be a better version of yourself. It won't be hanging on to this and stagnating in this. Now we're going to go into the Moonology cards. Emotions are running high, supermoon. So I don't know when the next supermoon is going to be, but it could be whenever that is, that emotions may be running very high. And it could be that when that occurs, that there could be some sort of an offer here through those emotions and what that means. Okay, so let's go ahead and get some tarot. This is the Dreams of Gaia Tarot. What emotions are going to be running high in the future, and what is going to come of that when it comes to this individual? We have abundance. Definitely growth here. I see abundance as growth. We're gaining something here. Oh, wow, look, 5 of Cups again in this reading. Okay? Again, we will not grow as long as we are focused on the past, you guys. We will not grow. As long as we're holding on and we are in this feeling of guilt and sadness and all these, we're not going to grow. But what I'm getting is that these emotions are probably going to resurface once again. So whatever we don't heal, it will repeat itself. So Spirit is basically saying, again, what we focus on multiplies. That's abundance. If we focus on the past, we're going to stay stuck in the past. We're being sad and we're feeling like crap. This is just going to continue to multiply. So be careful with where you place your emotions and your focus is what I'm getting here. Really focus more on new energy rather than this old energy, because you just don't want to keep recycling the same patterns over and over again. I love this 8 of Wands, which is forward movement. So I do feel you guys, and the Wands is connected to spring. So spring energy, spring is huge. It's the next season. Again, it doesn't matter if spring is your next season or not. It could be fall, I think, for some on the other end of the world. But yeah, this right here tells me the next season is actually we're going to progress. We're going to move forward. We're going to travel forward. Things are going to start moving again. This stuck energy here, we're going to grow from it. We're going to carry on. There could be communication as well in the next season for some of you when it comes to this person or this connection. because the Eight of Wands can sometimes be the communicator card. Yeah, and we have the energy of love. So anger could turn into forgiveness, which turns into unconditional love. And when we're in that vibration, it's almost like we are attracting to us, we're attracting love. We're attracting that high vibration in other people. So if your person happens to be in that vibration as well, and they're able to transmute this energy, and they're growing from this situation as well, the communication could be very loving in the future, is what I'm seeing with this. Because we can see right now that it's not. Yeah, we have body and mind. So the body and mind right now, I feel, are the biggest struggle. And so this is about healing the body, but also healing the mind. This is about realizing that the mind actually is not really running the show. It does seem that way. The mind is determining what we're doing in this life, and what we're thinking is running the show. It's creating our daily movements, and yes, it is to an extent. But this is about going deeper. This is about realizing that the body is just the physical vessel that's here on this planet. And the mind and everything that we observe and everything that we think, it does create our experiences. So this is about healing, not healing, this is about balancing this energy. We're balancing this energy. We're coming from a much more loving place. You know, whatever issues that we've had, we're choosing to see more of a higher vibration. We're also being smart too. We're discerning. We're coming from a loving place, but our vibration is love rather than rage, rather than anger. And we're seeing how that's actually creating more of that balanced feeling in this life, in this physical existence. We're realizing how trapped we have been, and we're moving forward. So I feel like there is a releasing. Remember the kiss of death card that came up with that karmic lesson? I feel like there is a transition in the future. I feel like spring is bringing forth some sort of communication, or at least the hearts, the two of you, your hearts are going to be opening, and you guys are going to be communicating, like your souls or your energy fields are going to be much more loving than they have been in the past, or where they currently are now. So let's go ahead and get 2 more cards, and then we'll end the reading. I love it. I love it. 9 of Pentacles. And we have the 7 of Pentacles again. So to me, this 9 of Pentacles, this is independence. This is solo energy. This is feeling really good on your own, taking care of your own needs. And this right here, 7 of Pentacles, this is about taking that time to align yourself, taking that time to heal, taking this time to basically reflect and become very aware of your own energy, and how your own energy and how your thoughts and all of your either issues or traumas have actually created a lot of the things that you've experienced so far, even with this person. So we're taking personal responsibility. We're not blaming anymore. We're not wasting time in that energy. We're not in that energy of blaming. We're in that energy of taking responsibility. We're empowered. We're in 9 of Pentacles energy. Now we finally have something of value to offer someone. As in, if you want to have a very harmonious and balanced relationship, you have to bring that to the table yourself in order for that to be matched. Spirit is going to match you up vibrationally with where you're at. So if you no longer want to repeat these cycles of these traumas or these things that maybe some of you have been experiencing, this is giving you an opportunity to clear it, heal it, and then when you come to the table, there's a healthier version of yourself that's going to be presented. Okay? And let's just say, for instance, let's just say your person, they're ready. The 2 of you vibrationally come together in the future. That's wonderful. But if they're still not ready, you're not going to be affected by this in the same way that you have been any longer. Because you're no longer a slave to your emotions. You're no longer a slave to your mind or your body. You're in just a completely different realm. You have ascended to the next level. So I'm seeing major ascension for the viewer through this reading here. You're definitely ascending moving forward. If your person chooses not to, you're going to be okay either way. But you are going to be ready to attract something new and fresh in your life. And you're going to be able to manifest that through the work that you do on yourself. So anyways, you guys, this to me shows me that in the future, you're going to reach a milestone. This connection will reach a level to where it either is going to work or it's not, and you leave it behind. Some of you guys may be ready to do that now, and there's nothing wrong with doing that, because all that means is that you're just focusing on yourself, doing you. If this person decides to make some changes and they want to match up with you later on, so be it. But you guys are no longer completely and fully invested in that story. And that's probably good for you, because it's not good to be invested in a story that is keeping you stuck or causing you to feel low vibrational. So it's just always up to us on the experiences that we want to have while we are here. So I hope that was helpful to you guys. I hope that you enjoyed this reading. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you guys this week. I'm probably going to be doing I couldn't fit it in today because I have to do personal readings as well. But I am still going to resume with my daily tarot card readings. And I also want to do for the month of February, earth, air, water, fire signs. So those will be coming this week. It just may not be, obviously, at the first of the month. I'm doing the best I can. So I'm just trying to catch up, you guys. All right. Take care. Thanks. Bye-bye.